Now for a wait a sec. Isn't something important supposed to happen Oh, today's our big day! We're supposed to leave the Fortress of Mirapede! Come on, we've got...
Please, sign here. This document will be effective immediately upon signing.
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Let's Huh?
What's happening? I'm fine, thanks.
Let's go ask the Duke.
Time to act.
Your Grace?
Ah, good to see you two. Is there...
Yeah, what was with that earthquake just now?
Ah, that. The tremor didn't originate from the seafloor. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I have developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs...
So the fortress is okay?
If you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would be crowds of...
Huh, you've got a point. Okay, by the way...
I believe today...
Wait, seriously?
Aha, yeah.
Yep. It's you two. Are you leaving? That's right! Today is our last day in prison. But now that Paimon says that, Oh yeah, Paimon feels fond of this place now. Then be sure to come back and visit. I'll miss you.
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go. The guards will escort you...
You're not going to see us off?
I knew you'd ask. All right, sure.
Well, you actually agreed. No worries,
Ah, so you do have a polite side, I see.
After being down here for so long, I imagine you must feel like you're lacking companionship. Yeah, don't worry, we'll come back to see you. Paimon really likes the cafeteria here.
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
We'll do our best to well, it seems our work in the Fortress of Mirapede is finished. We should probably go report to him now. You're going to see Monsieur Nervillette?
I'm sure just your regards will do.
I believe it would be
You're right. I've heard the Palais has been terribly busy these days. Tell him that I hope he hasn't been overwhelmed by the
The Palais Mermonia sure is buzzing with activity today.
Halt! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Apologies. Monsieur Nervillette did say you'd be welcome at any time.
Excuse me. Would you mind helping me take a look at this report?
I'll be right there. Sorry, I've got my hands full here. You can see yourselves in.
Everyone's so busy. Seems a lot has been happening.
Hello. You've come at the right time, but you'll have to wait for just a moment. In the meantime, please, have a seat.
That's all right. We just said...
Very well, then.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to finish his...
All right. That should wrap things up for now.
Are you done with your work?
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting. Today should be the day you were released from the Fortress of Meripede.
That's right, and we came here to see you right away.
A massive whale.
Do you have any idea what that might be?
Judging from your description, that cannot have occurred in any ordinary waters, but rather something like the primordial sea. A whale of that size and shape cannot usually be found in the waters of Tevat. Therefore, we can only assume that Child is presently immersed in primordial seawater.
Immersed in primordial seawater? But how? And is he okay?
Most people wouldn't be capable of entering in the first place. I'm not completely sure how he could have gotten there myself. Yes? What is it?
Ah, right! Paimon, we asked the Duke and he said it wasn't from underwater, so we figured you might know something.
It turns out that I have just received a report about this particular matter. The source of the tremor was here on the surface near Poisson. After the shaking stopped, the water
levels rose?
Fortunately, the water levels only rose for a short period of time, and if the change in water levels is connected with the leaking primordial seawater, then the situation in
Navia should be in Poisson, right? We need to go check on her!
I would also like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave just yet. I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first. I'll meet you there to check on the situation once I finish the...
There's no time to lose! Let's get going!
Please be careful.
Oh no! What happened here? Navia should be around here, right? We need to make sure she's still... We haven't seen a single soul all the way here.
What will I ever do now?
Look, there's someone on...
Just stay put! We're coming up! Watch your balance!
All right, just... I'm not young anymore.
Oh, he looks pretty sad.
My leg. How could this have happened? It hurts.
Just hang in there. Help is on the way. You can hold my hand if it makes you feel...
Oh, it's Navia. She's over there. Hey, Navia, are you okay?
You're here.
We heard there was a situation in Poisson, so we can...
Yes. As you can see, the water level suddenly...
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to safety.
He's wounded?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg. He's pretty shaken up. When the water level rose, he desperately climbed up to the roof. Once the water receded and he saw the
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1 and tell him to take the wounded resident to see a doctor.
Understood. I'll take over his search and rescue mission in the meantime.
All right. You'll be in... I'm sorry. Right. Allow me to explain. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise. At first, everyone thought that the rushing water seemed a little odd, almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to escape. As the water levels rose, they suddenly disappeared. Those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to higher ground. The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties. The water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of Poisson are still hazardous. To ensure everyone's safety, no one knows if this could happen again. All we can do for now is try our...
How awful. And all of this...
It was quite frightening indeed. I only wish that...
Is there any way we can help, Navia?
Thank you for being so willing to help in a moment of crisis.
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
Demoiselle! We've got a situation here!
Sorry. I need to go for now.
And off she goes. Seems it might be...
Okay. The wounded are being tended to, and of course, we should remain ready for anything, and continue doing our best, Traveler. Paimon?
Huh? Right now?
Thank you.
Time to act. Body and mind.
Not a lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day and the whole situation...
Right. That's how things are now.
Navia? Navia, what's wrong?
Sorry. I just... Malus and Silver... They won't... What should I do, Pop?
Huh? What happened to them?
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan, but still... They were helping evacuate the residents, and they were caught.
What?
I've known them for so long. I could at least hold a funeral for my father, and I know where he rests. But as for Malus and Silver, they're just...
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect that you...
I can understand. Besides, the scenery here isn't half bad.
See, it's not just me. I always want to bring something when I visit Papa. Perhaps we might even...
How could Master ever be upset with you, Demoiselle? Yet the cemetery is the home of those who have passed.
Buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus, Demoiselle.
Hey, stop joking around.
I'm quite serious. That way, it will save us both the trip to see each other.
That makes sense. In that case,
After all, besides you, Demoiselle, the two of us could certainly be considered masters close.
Personally, I believe we fill those shoes just fine.
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. But I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I promised to let them rest in peace here. But I'm sorry for letting you see me in a mess like this.
Paimon doesn't know how to help you feel better.
I'd always thought I could make my wishes come true. But now that I think about it, that Malus and Silver have helped me so much. I'm so sorry.
You can spend as much time as you need here, Navia.
Thank you. Right, by the way, you can have a look at this.
Obana, Khan, so everyone else is safe?
It's okay. I know what you're thinking. And the overall outcome indicates that the cost...
Right! Don't think that way, Navia. One person might be saved at the expense of another, sure, but that isn't... Malus and Silver were not the price for saving anyone. They're heroes.
You're right. Thank you. What you said just now was pretty
Oh!
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
The name?
Is everything going well on your side?
Yes. My people are carrying out the mission according to your request. All the residents of Poisson have been... As for these supplies, we have everything taken care of. There is no need...
Thank you very much.
Wait!
We just met recently.
Usually, I would call this a coincidental encounter. But that doesn't quite fit this. Thanks to the Knave, Spina di Rosula received generous support from the Fatui, which allowed us to complete...
Mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it was nothing. That said, I must say that you're a lot sharper than you let on.
I apologize for all the ways in which I tested you previously. We've never worked with a Fatui before, and it's extremely important for us to know who we're working with. My subordinates have reported that Fatui soldiers have been observing water levels and taking head counts in various locations. I hear that they've also prepared a large amount of emergency supplies. I'm quite surprised.
This is nothing to brag about, nor do I intend to. It is simply the way of powerful organizations to act forcefully, whether they are... As I've told this traveler before, I know of the prophecy, and lending your organization a hand was a natural first step in accomplishing that. As such, do not be troubled by...
Without your help, there would have been many more casualties.
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver. I only wish that...
Don't say that. You and your... As Paimon said, Malus and Silver didn't choose to I've never liked hearing people put it that way.
You're right. I'm sorry for your loss. Water is life to Fontaine's people, and it also spells disaster. It's no wonder that people always say that...
So, you're one who will try to change...
Of course. That is why I'm going to Hotel Bouffe de Thé. I still have some things to By the way, traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
Alright, then we'll just...
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I do like to use when necessary. Traveler, I'm sure you remember that you and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the Fortress of Meripede's sluice gate, and this indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received from During some recent investigations, a child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. The ruins date back to ancient times. Judging by the dating of the ruins, they may be related to the prophecy and the coming crisis. My people initially came to prepare for ruin exploration.
So that's why...
I wanted to take the children along, but unfortunately, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine have all been dispatched to higher ground. Linny told me that outside of the house, the person they trust most is you, which is why I want to give you this task. The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family, but Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you as such. I'm sure you already understand how earnest they...
Oh! That's...
The intel I just shared about the ruins could fetch a high price. But since the children consider you family...
Got it! So all we gotta do is go to some ruins, right? We can handle that.
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
You wish to join?
But are you sure you're up to explore?
Well, I'm sad, yes. But I can't... There's no point in being depressed while we still... Besides, I'm also doing...
Since you put it that way, I have... All right. The ruins are to the south of Poisson.
Okay, the three of us will handle it. Come on, let's pack up.
Time to act.
Brace yourself. Here we go.
So, are these the ruins the knave was talking about? Whoa, talk about old.
They seem to be pretty ancient, all right.
Let's go in and have a look.
Just be careful.
Shine down! No, my sword! Let me read you a verse.
Here we go.
There is no escape! Rain outlines your fate.
The floor here isn't safe. This place has also been contaminated by
Yeah. And a lot of it, too. A Fontainian would most likely dissolve the moment they...
Right! You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous and it won't be any help for... Don't get Paimon wrong. We're not...
No, you're right. I can't do anything in this situation. I'll leave this to you. That complicates things.
In that case, do you want to...
The water levels here are unstable, and there's a chance I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find the exit just up ahead.
All right. Come with us for now, then, but... Oh no, it's a dead end! Let's try climbing over from the side.
Yahoo!
Wouldn't gliding be faster? Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Wait, there's something wrong with this bridge! Run!
Demoiselle?
Huh?
Demoiselle, what are you doing here by yourself? Would you be standing here till dark if—
Maybe she just wants some time to herself, Maloose.
Hmm? Oh.
Yes, it would appear
I must be tired.
That's quite possible. However—
Oh, right. It must have slipped my mind when I dozed off. This is a familiar feeling, yet
Is something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, no. No, I was just trying to recall why we—
Do you remember Mr. Giverny? He'd requested our—
We were headed to see how things were going with—
Ah, right.
Oh? Miss Navia. Ah, Mr. Maloose. And Mr. Silver, too.
How have you been?
I've been great. Thanks to your help, those bothersome merchants finally realized that I wasn't the one they were looking for. They were knocking at my door day and night. Even my neighbor, Obina, was getting fed up with them.
Sometimes force is required to calm someone.
That's right.
Oh, yes. Miss Navia, these are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. I don't know what we would have done without your help. So this—
Did you cultivate them yourself? Thank you.
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, Demoiselle.
Perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants for some of Mrs.
Very well.
Wait. Excuse me, madam. If I—
That's right.
No, it's nothing. This is the first time we've ever met, but your name I've heard this name before. And why are there so few people around here?
We must mind the time, Demoiselle. We still have important things to attend to today.
Huh? We do?
Well, now, did—
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been looking for you. Please, come to the opera house.
My trial?
Yes, she's right, Demoiselle. It's just about—
Oh?
Look, it's Navia! She's here!
And her two attendants are with her! Goodness, everyone's finally here.
There sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seem to— Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen. Why are so many... And as for the judge... huh?
Please sit in the defendant's seat. Don't worry, Silver and I shall...
All right. But are you sure?
Typically, it wouldn't be allowed, but...
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on, do they have any idea?
Enough with the whispering!
My dear Miss Navia, have you not yet realized what you've done? And as all here know, you are Master Callus's successor. After you took over the Spina, you treated all of us just like the late Master Callus had. Not only you, but your butler, your subordinates...
Wait a moment.
Yes, correct. Absolutely right. And that is why you stand accused. You have helped we are one big family, all of us who are from Poisson, inextricably. Therefore, this fair and honorable court shall declare you guilty.
Huh? Everything you have said is correct. I haven't...
Ah, well, if that...
How wonderful! I know all these people. Why are they laughing?
I seem to remember now.
Wait just a moment. This isn't right!
Malus?
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She's...
Stay here, Navia! You're one of us!
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to keep you here forever.
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Joinville, you only know of Navia.
She was born a free and independent spirit. She has never been tied down by anything. Indeed...
Her actions cannot serve as proof that she identifies herself as part of any... Please do not mistake her actions.
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontainians here. This is the nation. Even if Miss Navia only voluntarily rendered her assistance, that doesn't change the fact that everything is measured here in the nation of Hydro. Now, I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay. We and...
And you would call this justice? Preposterous. Have you forgotten how much you all once longed?
Do you mean to defy our justice?
If your justice is flawed, then why should we acknowledge it?
As you said, we can also have our own justice. Silver and I... And that is...
My head...
Demoiselle!
Silver, it hurts. I remember now. Everything that seemed odd, Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Don't be afraid, and don't admit guilt. We will...
Absurd! Who are you to say that she cannot be judged? We are the majority, and don't let them escape. We shall keep
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to us. After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
What are you saying?
No more excuses.
He says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly be an...
What's with these people?
Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us!
Miss Navia.
Silence!
That's... Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The accusations you just presented, the court will adjourn for the rest of the day. In this,
Our thanks, monsieur.
Please leave with me, Miss Navia, while there is...
But...
Go on now, demoiselle. This is your only chance to leave the...
Loose.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that this show...
Malus... Silver...
Quickly, you must...
Goodbye.
Farewell.
No, wait! Just a second!
Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive, and
It looks like you're all right.
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have a nightmare?
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. When I arrived, I found you falling toward the water. You were just about to be dissolved within, but I think I saw 2 Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction. Were it not for their intervention, I would not have been.
Wait, did you say Oceanids? You mean like what happened with
Perhaps those 2 Oceanids were the.
I always told them that they didn't have to protect me.
Please come with me.
Neverlet, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all right.
Why do you look so stiff all of a sudden? Oh, Paimon knows. You're the type who feels awkward when there's nothing to tell.
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time.
Huh? Why didn't you just say so then? Don't you—
I suppose. Sigewinne. I hope all is well with her these days. Her work in the Fortress of Mer—
No way, don't worry. She's doing fine down there.
I see. Well, that is good. I have always worried that Sigewinne would need a lot of time to understand the world of humanity.
Oh, and the Duke also says hi. Even though Sigewinne made him do that. He hopes that you haven't been overwhelmed by all that's happened lately.
Thank you. I have indeed been busy lately, and I also hope—
He still doesn't know what to talk about. So, Neverlet,
Yep.
this isn't going anywhere.
Yes, in fact. I had arranged to meet you in Poisson, but when I arrived, amid my astonishment, I ran into the knave, and we had a chat. She informed me that she had asked—
Yeah, we originally planned to meet up with you, but we thought you might still be busy with all those official documents.
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
All right! Another one joins the party! Let's get going then!
Time to go! Nada condala.
Oh no, another unstable path. Watch your step.
Witness the power of Agua! Inazuma shines eternal! Illusion! Know my sword! Let me weave you a verse. Time for takeoff. Yahoo! Now you shall perish! Ha! 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 Kill!
Looks like we've reached the end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden spaces in the vicinity.
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Stone slates? It seems like they were put here as an offering. Could we take them down and have a look?
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in the first empty spot is...
The surrounding walls also show signs of...
There's something written below. Let Paimon see.
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose.
That would fit the circumstances dictated by the prophecy, yes.
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated.
And is that Lady Farina in the 3rd image? Did the Hydra...
And is that a ring of people around him?
The 4th image. I know this one. This exactly matches the
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will... More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it.
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur Neuvillette. Deciphering ancient...
Ooh, the Paimon's getting the chills just... This says that it's the history of the future, right? That means the prophecy
I really hope it doesn't...
Still, Paimon feels like these...
That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the 4th, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the 3rd, where the Hydro Archon herself falls into the water?
And yet the order is reversed here.
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the 3rd image. That means that the person in the 2nd image...
Egeria, then. I had never met her, but her appearance, the previous Archon kneeling before the floating island in the skies.
Did she herself commit that sin? Also, I'm still wondering why these ancient stone slates are here at all. Judging from their
But who would have created these slates?
It seems that any further clues will have to come from Farina.
In that case, there's no time to lose. There's nothing else to be gained.
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
Let's split up here. I'm going to check on what's happening with the Spina. You know how it is.
You still have energy for that, Navia? Huh?
Just head back to the Fluvsandre and have a rest then.
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Traveler, I will go talk to Farina tomorrow morning to ask about the... I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office.
Are you really gonna talk to her about this directly? Will that be a problem?
She has long been harboring secrets, and will not give them up easily. Which make...
Alright, we'll leave it in your hands then.
I will be carefully considering my words tonight.
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fluvsandre is always open to you, as ever. Alright. I'll be on...
We're finally back!
Welcome back. We've got a special menu prepared.
Yay! And there's good food too! Navia, no. Ooh, dessert. Paimon's already starting to forget what...
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think it is?
Huh?
It's you two. What are you doing in Fontaine? Seriously, nobody just uses a scry glass whenever they've got time.
Still, we didn't expect to see you.
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel in the city. I was just out for a stroll when I bumped into you. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that because Magistus doesn't sound much like a monster?
Yeah.
Well, I used to have my own surname, which was... well, some other thing. Either way, the old hag told me when she took me as her disciple that the first step to being a great... There was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology, so I changed my name to what it is now according to her wishes. Nope. Although it is used by us in place of surnames, it generally just means great.
Wow! Imagine including a boast in your name. Wait, are you gonna have to put that...
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well, if I... Astromancer Barbeloth Trismegistus.
Whoa, that's a long one.
My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old hag, hers is, in plain speech, the thrice as great Scholar of the Stars. Just take it as a title specific to us.
Thrice as great? That's so...
I know, right? That's just how she is. She used to call herself...
Talk about excessive.
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the same as a surname. It's all right if you don't get it. You can look into it further should you need to study astrology more deeply.
That sounds terrible! But anyway, you're not Fontaine.
Well, I was born in Mondstadt, yes. My parents migrated to Dorman Port, and I traveled with the old hag.
Oh, that's a good thing then. At least...
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here in Fontaine. There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean. That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the Steambird invited me to take part in a panel, and the invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think anyone expected Fontaine.
What do you make of that prophecy, Mona? Just tell us what you think as an astrologist. Your word would...
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist, and that this prophecy concerns the fate of Fontaine. I'm afraid that this is not something that just anyone can do. If I could do it, you would no longer call me an astrologist. But on the flip side, the prophecy is so huge and powerful that it must surely come from a powerful visionary.
A visionary? Sounds really
Of course. The old hag could do it, and I'd bet there are others amongst those Hexenzirkel colleagues of hers who could do something similar. All right.
Thanks, Mona. You're amazing.
Oh, well, this is something only I can do after all.
So that's the greatest of astrologists for you, of all the people...
Indeed.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about.
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy. Right, but we were able to recruit Mona's help, didn't we? Good morning. To be honest, Paimon's still feeling kind of sleepy. But it's time to get up, Traveler. We agreed to go...
You're here! Fine.
Is something...
Monsieur Neurvalette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten in...
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are... Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson.
You mean... they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson.
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I understand your concerns, but I'm...
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secrets. There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know there's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my Just trust in me. You're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind, that's all I have to say. We do not discuss this... Oh! The opera's about to start. Toodles!
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. Shh.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh! You noticed!
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding. Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless we may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but...
Oh?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the hydro.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but this may be cruel to her. But all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too But who will lend us their...
Well, that's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world.
That's what family should do.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me?
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things.
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the as for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create—
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand, and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to—
Huh? Didn't you—
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your...
In that case, do any of you have experience?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for
I've also gone diving to...
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once, though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society. Taking a trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons, our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed—
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person—
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought— I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic—
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly. But I do have one more question for you. If we were to create a trap now, how—
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily— If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line—
Huh. We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on track, but we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god. A being.
Oh, so that's what's going on.
Body and mind.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been... Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but then Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised. It's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice... Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining.
Who's that voice?
Ah, have you forgotten?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky and...
The voice from the sky, You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously. Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commit the prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may be...
What? Then...
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Tevat so So just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspective, are the things that you shall see different from...
What is she talking about?
I believe that you understand, right? Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter... This was good tea, by the way. Thank you.
The voice. What? All right. Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Mona!
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that. Not all Fontainians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make the...
Did she...
Why, yes! It was Charlotte. You remember, I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives...
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something...
Yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. I'll try again. Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold, if you ask.
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direct, but I've never met her. And if she were still alive, she'd be... well, suffice it to say that
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group.
But their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing...
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand any...
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn... Perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now. Traveler, Paimon?
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now.
I see. I feel that I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. But even so, I still hope for and believe in miracles. Perhaps that's what N was trying to tell you. Not to lose... I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still...
Huh. You do have a point.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. It was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I believe that you'll help those who are struggling, and I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
Paimon Paimon feels kinda moved by what Mona said. But also Hey, Traveler, Paimon suddenly feels like... Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by. Huh? Our names are written in this newspaper. Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report. A blonde adventurer with their white fairy, legends trailing him. So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear. Journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet. The Traveler's Trail. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and she hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us at... seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines...
Body and mind. Body and mind.
Paimon's... Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition, only 16 slices a day cake! It was so delicious the last time we tried it!
One slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all! Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right.
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closed?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but...
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No, still, even if there'd be no more... No, it's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know. Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call...
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about... She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily. Yes, I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You two...
And there she goes! Alright, let's dig in. Paimon should... It's more delicious than last time! And the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea! It sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food. Oh, we're near the Steambird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.